Right now, before you head to the lake, you might want to think twice. A warning from officials about why some parts of the water could be dangerous. Plus, how a mistake could possibly turn into a solution when it comes to the fight against cancer. And the Brew Crew trading in their bats and gloves for some hardware as they give back to the community in Milwaukee. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. For years now, we have heard of PFAS found in water-resistant products in Dane County. But UW-Madison researchers found high levels of the forever chemicals in naturally occurring parts of lakes and rivers statewide. So does that mean you shouldn't swim anywhere except a pool? Well, Armand Rahman dives into how you can keep your family safe this summer.
Before you jump into a local lake or river near you, like Lake Monona, experts say you might want to take a look and see how much foam is on the water.
PFAS in foam, so that's the white foamy stuff you sometimes see on the side of the lake or in the river.
With warm temps and no wind Thursday on Lake Monona, there were a lot of families like Kim Fritz and her son.
We hang out at the park, hang out by the water. We live a few blocks up the road and it's an easy walk.
But the foam from that lake in particular is the most loaded with the harmful compounds.
The highest concentrations actually in the whole study were in Lake Monona, and that's because it's impacted by historical firefighting foam use from the Dane County Airport.
For the first time, researchers saw PFAS levels in naturally occurring foam as high as 300,000 nanograms per liter. The federal regulation for PFAS is just 4 nanograms per liter.
If you get some on your skin and you wash it off, that's something I wouldn't be worried about. If you get it on your skin and then you go eat something, that could be a potential route of exposure.
Most of the time, the foam had much more PFAS than the water below it.
Swimming isn't really as much of a concern.
This shows the chemicals may move out toward the bubbles and be easier to clean up. But experts advise it's best not to let kids or pets play with or in the foam. Fritz says that's about business as usual for her.
We always just try to wash him off. We don't let him drink the water or anything. If he's opening his mouth in the water, we usually take him out of the water and try to avoid that and go to the pool. I feel like that's just part of the lake.
Experts say if you accidentally ingest any PFAS, you won't notice any immediate symptoms like vomiting or diarrhea. However, it will put you at risk for longer chronic health issues like cancer. Reporting in Monona, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
And along with firefighting foams, PFAS can be found in cleaning products, water-resistant fabric, and non-stick cookware. Well, there is some good news when it comes to drinking water in Wisconsin. The DNR's annual drinking report shows more than 99% of the public water systems in the state have met all water quality standards for contaminants. The DNR says the great scores are accredited to the more than $155 million in state funding to ensure safe drinking water, along with Governor Tony Evers' $10 million investment from the American Rescue Plan Act. That money helped replace more than 1,000 lead service lines in 17 communities. A warm and cloudy Tuesday. We could see some showers later in the week. Meteorologist Jacob Madison will tell us when in our first warn forecast.
Thanks, Eric. Right now, we are seeing the remnants of Beryl move through the United States, just to the southeast of our area, but the heaviest will stay to the southeast. Now, we could see a few light showers, but we're not expected to see much from this system. However, looking at the heart of this, you can see that there's plenty of rainfall for a lot of Illinois, Indiana, and southern Michigan. And some locations could see over 3 inches of rainfall, and I've already seen that much rainfall as this continues to track through the United States. So looking at the forecast tonight, areas east of Dane County could definitely see some showers from it, but most of the rain will stay near Lake Michigan. However, there could be some additional pop-up showers and maybe a few isolated storms overnight, but if it does rain, it will likely be very brief. And then as we get to the afternoon hours, we may continue to see some pop-up showers and storms similar to what we saw today. Now, looking at the current temperatures, very comfortable right now, lower 70s, upper 60s for most of Dane County and really the entire area. Tonight is going to be another very comfortable night. Could see some rainfall, but mostly to the east of Dane County. And then tomorrow is going to be similar to today with a pop-up shower possible, but temperatures will remain comfortable. However, we are expecting 90s to return before the end of the 10-day forecast. I'll talk more about that coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. The Monona Police Department asking for the public's help in finding a vehicle that was involved in multiple retail thefts and also a hit-and-run crash. This is the vehicle they're looking for. It's a 2002 Chevy Blazer with a Wisconsin license plate AMY 8493. That's AMY 8493. Police say those involved with the vehicle are accused of stealing from numerous stores, including a retailer in Monona just this morning. Monona PD tried stopping that vehicle earlier today. The driver drove off and sideswiped another vehicle near John Nolan Drive. So now the driver is involved in a hit-and-run crash as well. Anyone with information is, again, asked to call Monona Police. Lawmakers met at the state capitol in an attempt to work for solutions for some of the troubled state prisons in Wisconsin. Today, an informational hearing took place. The Capitol is basically emptied out for the most part, with lawmakers. They won't start drafting bills again until next year, but they did want to hear from stakeholders about what's happening in Wisconsin prisons, and that included some former correctional officers who alleged a culture of silence in state prisons amid abuse.
That's unfortunate because the only way that this committee is going to know exactly where things are at and how bad things are or how good things are in the Department of Corrections is to actually having staff come and testify in front of us in a public hearing.
Lawmakers say they plan to hold another hearing next month. That's when they plan to subpoena the Department of Corrections and try to find some of the answers to questions the lawmakers asked today. With opioid-related deaths on the rise, Dane County leaders are looking for some long-term solutions to curb substance abuse in Madison. A new drop-in center designed for safer drug use would provide resources like Narcan, on-site specialists, and safe syringe and smoking supplies. Rick Rose, the chair of the Opioid Settlement Subcommittee, says the concept comes after considering input from both experts and also those impacted by opioid addiction. And he says there's a misconception about providing available supplies to drug users.
There's a lot of stigma around all of these things, but for so long it's not working. We're still losing 200-300 people a year. So if this system isn't working currently, we need to hear and try ways that may be different to save those lives. It's not an overdose youth center, it's an overdose prevention center. We're there to save lives.
Now, the project, still subject to final approval by the county board, would utilize 2024 settlement funds. City of Reedsburg, the first in Wisconsin now to receive a Safe Haven baby box. It's a place that allows those who surrender their babies a safe place to go and also can remain anonymous. When the box is opened, a silent alarm sounds. 1 minute later, an internal alarm goes off, and that one notifies first responders. The state already had a safe haven for newborn relinquishment law for unharmed babies under 72 hours old. Since 2017, 49 infants have been safely and legally surrendered in a baby box. A bit of an accident by a UW research team may just turn out to be a breakthrough cancer treatment. Dr. Chris Saha and a team at UW have found that what they believe to be a T-cell therapy breakthrough, their accident, turned out helping to better understand T-cell therapy, and all in the name of fighting cancer. They accidentally swapped a condition in the experiment, essentially starving the T-cells of sugar. This ended up reducing the cell's maturity, in turn making them last longer. In short, this helps fight tumors more effectively.
It ended up they did better than the other two medias did, which we did not expect.
And the research team additionally tells us that more research is needed, requiring them to seek grant money in order to fund it. City of Madison updating its traffic lights at intersections all over the city. The plan is to replace over 12,000 of them by the year 2028. It's for the project Switch the Lights. That's part of a bigger city plan to advance traffic safety and also sustainability. The carbon reduction program provided the city with 2 grants that fund about $6.1 million for this project. The city aims for the light switch to turn up safety and longevity on the streets.
By replacing these lights, they are a lot more visible. They're going to last longer. You'll have less failures of them. And anytime you can do that, all you're doing is you're creating a more safe traffic environment, which should lead to less serious injuries and deaths on our roadways.
Now, those new signals will be in around 250 different intersections all across Madison. Traffic engineers estimate that you'll start to see these new lights later this fall. President Biden and his staff are struggling to move past the debate fallout and address lingering questions about his health. A growing number of Democrats are calling for President Biden to step away from his re-election bid, while many remain behind him. This while Donald Trump continues to attack President Biden's work ethic.
I think he is energetically and effectively addressing those concerns, and he needs to continue to make that case. The American people earn their support.
No wonder Joe doesn't want to give up the job. His own staff says that the only Hours he works are 10 a.m. to 4. Does anybody here have a job like that?
Former President Trump held a South Florida rally tonight alongside Senator Marco Rubio, a potential running mate. He will likely announce his VP pick before next week's Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, a protest group isn't happy about a federal judge's decision that rules against protest zones. The Coalition of March is planning a demonstration during next week's Republican National Convention. The group wanted permission to march along a route that would cross the secure perimeter for the event. A judge decided the group must remain outside that designated security area. The group says the decision infringes on their First Amendment rights.
We firmly believe that the city of Milwaukee delayed the release of their designated route, so we would not have much time in court to litigate for our First Amendment rights. We deserved a route we had adequate time to organize around and litigate.
The judge did give protesters one small victory, ruling the city cannot revoke permits based solely on prior criminal records among protesters. As the RNC comes to Milwaukee next week, we will have crews there all morning, evening, and night from Monday through Thursday, bringing you the very latest coverage. We'll also have additional and up-to-date coverage on our website, channel3000.com. A new poll shows former President Trump edging out President Biden. That poll released by AARP showing Donald Trump leading Joe Biden 44-38 among registered voters ages 18 and older, and among voters 50 and older, 48% to 41% Trump leads, but that poll shows the candidates are tied at 45% among ages 65 and older. Jeff List, who helped with the poll, says third-party candidates are making an impact in these polls.
In Wisconsin, there is some of that where you have more younger voters going to third-party candidates, and so that's hurting Biden. But also in Wisconsin, among voters over 50, there are some voters going to third-party candidates, and that looks like it's hurting Donald Trump.
As for the U.S. Senate race in Wisconsin, Democrat Senator incumbent Tammy Baldwin holding a lead over Republican challenger Eric Hovde 50-45%. Brewers players trading in their bats and gloves today for some tools. It's for the Brewers Build Bikes event as the crew teaming up with COA Youth and Family Services to help assemble bicycles for kids in the area who are in need of them.
Being able to provide a bike for these kids is pretty cool. It kind of brings you back to your childhood, and just seeing the smile on their faces is making this all worth it.
When I got on it and I tried to ride with the training wheels, I just tipped over, and then my bike crashed.
Well, today they built over 100 bikes to give to children in the Milwaukee area. Well, still ahead at 10 tonight, another day of warm weather. So how long will it last? Meteorologist Jacob Montesano will let us know. Plus, Texas feeling the aftermath of Tropical Storm Beryl. Why they are struggling to get the lights back on there. That's next at 10.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
It's a great time to have RG Heating and Air Conditioning check your home's furnace system for safety and efficiency. RG services all brands and installs quality Trane equipment to keep your home running smooth year-round. Call RG Heating and AC today.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
This is where all your dreams come true. You are the Moulin Rouge!
Madison's most spectacular night out is Moulin Rouge, the musical. Winner of 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The New York Times calls it dazzling, gasp-inspiring. In Moulin Rouge, life is beautiful. Now playing at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
Many window installers lack proper training. At Next Door & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our installers are certified and trained to ensure your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
They produced yacht rock hits that defined an era. It's Ambrosia. Performing live October 12th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. With special guest John Ford Coley. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Soft rock that rocked the yacht. Ambrosia, John Ford Coley, October 12th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, Tashana, Arnold, and I go off once again. Then the animals put us on edge.
Yeah, you can touch your head.
That's okay.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
16 jurors have been chosen for Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter trial in New Mexico. The 5 men and 11 women were chosen. 12 will be designated as the jury, with 4 alternates. It was October of 2021. Baldwin pointed a gun in the direction of cinematographer Helena Hutchins and killed her. In the coming weeks, prosecutors aim to focus on Baldwin's alleged flouting of gun safety protocols on set.
He didn't do any of the things that he was supposed to do to make sure that he was safe or that anyone around him was safe. And then he pointed the gun at Helena Hutchins and he pulled the trigger.
Opening statements will begin tomorrow. If found guilty, Baldwin could face up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine.
It's going to be days. It's going to be days. I mean, look at the last event in June. I mean, in May. We had just under 1 million people without power. I don't know if you recall that. We restored power to 1 million people in 4.5 days. And now we're at 2.2 million.
Beryl's winds are causing widespread power outages, leaving millions of people across Texas sweltering in oppressive heat, according to poweroutage.us. The Houston area, especially hard hit. Several cooling centers in the state are now open. Meteorologists have said the record-setting triple-digit heat wave continuing from Texas up through the western U.S. will last through week's end. They're also now tracking post-tropical cyclone Beryl toward the Midwest and also the Ohio Valley, bringing with it the threat of tornadoes and heavy rains in the hours ahead. Meanwhile, a man in Houston says he's lucky to be alive after a tree came crashing through his house when Beryl hit the area. Jordan Nichols says he was asleep when the tree fell. The ceiling caved on top of him. Moments later, he heard his roommate screaming for help. Firefighters rescued both of them. Nichols suffered only minor injuries.
It's like, I know God doesn't do things by mistakes, and I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna still be under this alive and nobody can come and help. So I don't know, it's unreal. I've been shaking all day. Like, it's just, I guess the adrenaline, even with the medicine, it don't even feel real.
The storm is blamed now for at least 10 deaths in Texas and Louisiana. Well, check out this video. This is out of Mount Vernon, Indiana. That's near the Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky state line. This tornado ripped through the area earlier today, causing a train to derail. It snapped power lines. Officials are still assessing the storm damage here. It's unknown if anyone was injured. If you're headed to the Grand Canyon during a family vacation this summer, officials are warning hikers to be extra cautious due to higher than usual temperatures. The National Weather Service says high temps there have been, on average, 5 to 7 degrees hotter than normal since the start of June. Some days 10 degrees or more above normal. Park Service there saying 3 people have died while hiking in the Grand Canyon National Park in recent weeks. It is not yet known if heat played a defining factor in those deaths, but rangers say temperatures on those trails could still be more than 120 degrees in the shade, which is why they say people should avoid hiking from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, we'll have some real heat coming our way by week's end. Meteorologist Jacob Madison now with our first warn forecast.
Yeah, but nothing quite that hot. Now, we are expected to get into the 90s, but triple digits, not as likely, and we certainly aren't going to get to 120. I can say that with certainty. Now, here's a look at the 3 things we need to know. We are going to be dodging the most rainfall that the remnants of Beryl will produce. That will stay to the southeast of us. And temperatures will also remain seasonable, fairly mild, a little bit warm through the end of the work week. But by the weekend, we are going to see high temperatures return to the lower 90s, especially on a Sunday. Now, looking at the current radar, most of our area completely dry, but notice you can see that rainfall to the southeast. That is all the remnants of Beryl, and there is plenty of rainfall across Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Michigan. So there are several locations across the Great Lakes that will be dealing with plenty of rainfall. And as we showed a moment ago, there have been a few tornadoes that have spawned from this system. Now, as we take a look at future track, all of that will stay to the southeast, at least most of the heaviest stuff, as we could see a few isolated showers east of Dane County, possible, but more than likely closer to Milwaukee near Lake Michigan. But notice to the southeast of Lake Michigan, southern Michigan and northern Indiana will see plenty of rainfall. And then as we get to the afternoon Wednesday, we'll see another system move into the south area southwest of Wisconsin and produce some rainfall there. Not nearly as much, but still could produce some thunderstorms. But notice here in southern Wisconsin, we're not expecting a lot of precipitation. Now, we could still see a few showers and storms tomorrow, but they will be very isolated and likely not going to last very long. So much of our area will be completely dry during the day. And if we look at total precipitation over the next couple of days, we're going to struggle to get to 1/10 of an inch. But further southeast, a few locations could possibly be getting up to, if not over, 3 inches of rainfall. So there may be some flooding concerns there, as there continues to be some severe weather concerns as well. So looking more specifically at our rain chances, notice a lot of the days are going to be kind of right around that stray shower level, between around 20 to 30%. We are not expecting that much rainfall this week, but each individual day, we could definitely see a passing shower or two, but most of the day will be dry. So no need to cancel any outdoor plans for the rain. But if you have any outdoor plans over the weekend, just keep an eye on these temperatures. It's going to be pretty warm, possibly the warmest temperatures of the year so far, but we'll be right around what we have currently as the warmest temperature of the year so far. But the good news is that although it is going to be pretty hot, we're still not expecting that extreme heat. And when I say extreme heat, I'm talking about heat index values over 105. We could see the heat index values get close to 100, but at this point in time, we are not expecting them to exceed 100 by that much. So still very hot, but it still could be worse, and we certainly have seen worse in the past couple of years. Not this year yet, but last year we did have a few days in that level. That's not necessarily going to be the case over the weekend, but still very warm. And again, we are going to continue to see a few pop-up showers and storms, but each individual day, if it does rain, it will be very brief, and much of the day won't rain at all. And many parts of our area may miss out on the rain altogether. So as a whole, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the rainfall, but still, those temperatures will be pretty hot.
And coming up in sports, the Brewers had one good inning and a handful of bad ones. A little from each next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Save big on Bonnie plants, all on sale. Stay cool with an oscillating pedestal fan, just $12.98. Play sand is just $2.48 per bag. Construction adhesive, only $2.49. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry in before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals, plus the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello permanent fat removal, and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately.
It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now, or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
We're a really busy family of 6 and moving into a new house, and Empire made it really easy.
They brought samples to our house, quality products, and installation on our schedule.
And we're really happy with everything.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today, the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power, and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a 0 down payment and make it no payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Only at your local Ford dealer.
This famous wood fence from the show Home Improvement had to have boards replaced 13 times in only 9 years. Our fences outlast wood 3 to 1 and are all backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. This month, save $1,000 on your project. Visit the website or call the number for your new fence today.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working, lowering health care costs and making big corporations pay their fair share. This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Back in April, the wait was finally over for Bo Ryan. The former Wisconsin head coach got the call that he's headed to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame as a member of the 2024 class. Now, Ryan will officially be enshrined in August, and even though it's been over 3 months since he found out that he's headed to the Hall, it's still hard to put into words what the honor means to the legendary head coach.
When he made the statement, well, welcome to the class of 2024, Coach. You've been elected. All the people that flashed in front of my mind, it was such a blur, and emotionally things popped into my head that just you can't explain. There's no way in the world you could individually or break it down.
Well, it's been quite a couple of days for Giannis. First, he led Greece back to the Olympics for the first time since 2008, and in the process was named the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament MVP. Today, the two-time NBA MVP found out he'll be one of the flag bearers for Greece during the opening ceremonies of the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris. You remember Braden Locke's first career start last year when Wisconsin started the fourth quarter down 21-7 at Illinois, and then Locke and the Badgers scored 18 straight points and won a big road win? Well, if the game-winning touchdown play happened this year, UW would be flagged for a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and it wouldn't count because Nolan Rucci switched jersey numbers and didn't report it to the Illinois sideline. You could do it last year. This year, the NCAA says you can't, so they changed the rule. Well, the Brewers back in action, taking on the Pirates. Milwaukee spotted Pittsburgh a 2-run lead, then went to work in the third. Blake Perkins smacks one through the infield, and William Contreras gets on his horse and slides in safely to tie this one up. But the Pirates would break the tie with a 6-run 6-inning and a solo shot from an old friend in Rowdy Tellez in the 7th. This one got ugly. Brewers fall 12-2 to final. We're back after this.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Jeep Grand Cherokee and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
We make junk disappear by giving it a new purpose. We donate the donatables and recycle the recyclables. And any organic materials are taken for composting. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Did you know there is no dental care for our veterans at the VA unless you are 100% disabled? Objective Veteran Smile is a non-profit providing free dental care for our veterans, and they need our help. Sponsor a Wisconsin veteran today for just $25 a month. Click or scan to learn more now.
People are dabbling.
I dabble in kung fu.
So go ahead. Dip.
I saved this dance for you.
Dig.
Diana Ross.
And dabble for yourself.
All day, baby.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
Win a hand-pay jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Jeep Grand Cherokee and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
News 3 Now Republican National Convention coverage starts Monday. Tonight,
Walk away from the light, Joe. Get away.
Colbert's got a new late show with Serena Williams. Tonight on CBS.
Finally, an off-duty police officer, this is in Kittery, Maine, surprised when a humpback whale breached from shallow water just in front of the boat he was on. Footage released by the Kittery Police Department shows the whale jumping out of the water in Pepperell Cove. He estimated the whale was in water only about 12 to 15 feet deep. Experts say the whale was likely so close to shore to feed on a recent influx of menhaden, which are filter feeding fish for those whales. Well, let's go to Jacob. He's got a final check of our first warn forecast.
Thanks, Eric. If we take a look at the 10-day forecast, a lot of the next several days, rainfall-wise, will be pretty similar. Just a small chance of a pop-up shower or storm. Temperatures, though, they are going to warm up by the weekend. Highs will be in the upper 80s to lower 90s over the weekend, and that's going to continue for the first half of next week. But it does look like we'll be back in the 70s by the end of the 10-day forecast. So some of the warmer temperatures we've seen this year, definitely take precaution if you have outdoor plans that weekend.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10, folks. Have a great night.